Greetings, fellow Armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Tiki.
And welcome to this welcome to this episode of More Poo Talk Live. And today we have some very special guests. We have our top four. Yeah. So let's go down the line and introduce them. We got Dash Haber. How you doing, Dash? How you doing?
Good.
All right, good to hear. And then we got Peregron.
Howdy.
How you doing, Peregron?
Very good.
Good to
time to be
hear.
alive.
And Outbound, how you doing?
Doing well.
All right. And Ace.
Oh, not too bad. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. And we got Nate and Beowulf here in the comments. How are you two doing? Okay, just ignore me. That's cool too.
Kind of rude of them, yeah.
Very rude.
I think there's a delay between the comments on YouTube and this. I don't know. I've noticed that.
Instantly.
Oh, yeah, we got a full cast tonight. So Goofy, why don't we tell them what's going on?
Okay. So for the past couple of weeks, the Veto projects have been getting more and more competitive. And this week was the most competitive week yet. So because this is such a important Veto project, we decided that we would give you guys a chance, sort of, to decide how it's decided. So here's what happened. Two of you, and you're not going to know which two of you tied. And a third person was only 2 points behind them. So three people were within 2 points of each other, but two of you tied in the lead. So we have...
Bergeron, I think you tied for first.
Right, no, definitely.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure you got it on lock here.
Right.
So, hard to believe anything could challenge Buck Clock.
Yeah,
it was the
if
best
you
project of the season,
Buck Clock
undoubtedly.
better win. I mean, he will get you if he didn't.
So the decision that you guys have to make is we have two different ways that we can decide this. So the first option is, so we had four judges that were able to put in their scores, okay? And then we asked all the judges which ones they preferred after we had a tie score. Two of us preferred one person's, two of us preferred the other person's. So we can either decide it the way that we were originally going to decide it, which is just Tiki's vote counts as more since he's the head of 1986 judges, and that's the tiebreaker. Or we announce right now who the two that are tied are, and you will have until through the time it takes Mickey Fan and I to review the Veto project to come up with a fourth idea that the judges will quickly evaluate, and hopefully we won't tie you guys on. But the catch is that all four of you have to agree to do a fourth maze concept without knowing which two of you actually have to do it. And if you don't all four agree, then we're going to go with our initial plan, and then we'll tell you guys at the end who won, if that's what we do. Does that make sense, or did I confuse everybody?
I was not confused, but I knew about this before.
So it's basically we all agree to the maze, a fourth maze, and those two people do it, or it's Tiki's takes charge.
Right.
Yes.
Because this was about as close as it could be.
What if we just have the two people who tied advance with Pergron?
Well, I mean, where I am the one who tied, of course.
Yeah, Pergon's one of those
Alright.
tiebreakers. That saves us nothing.
Actually, Peregron's Butt Cluck project and his Yogi Bear project tied. So you guys are full out.
And then his third maze was actually the one 2 points behind.
Exactly.
Yes,
Crazy.
exactly. It was utter insanity. We do love a meme project, though.
We do. It was funny. I thought it was funny that Beowulf thought that was seriously his veto project. But yeah, so the choice is up to you.
All right. I don't care. Either
Oh,
Either
great.
or.
Well, that's helpful.
Oh, yeah.
I'll vote for whatever has the majority.
Why is it whenever we go on these things like this
It's a
happens?
trap.
It's
Never
always
accept
a
one of
trap.
these invites ever again.
Never.
well, okay.
Absolutely never accept these because you're always going to get suckered into something.
Pretty much. I mean, we could also flip
My
a coin,
vote?
but that's brutal too.
Yeah. That is pretty brutal. I've lost many Disney debates on here that way, so I'd stay away from the coin.
Yeah.
I'd almost lead towards the maze only because if it was truly that close, that gives both sides a chance to almost tie it together more.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something to be said for like trying to handle this tiebreaker with one more maze.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Outbound,
All right,
what say you?
I'll go with the group then.
Okay. So it looks like we have the fourth maze.
All right. So then the fun part. So you guys get to know which one of you made a foolish decision.
Still Pergron every time.
So the two that were tied were actually Ace and Dash.
All right.
And Dash would have been moving through if me and Tiki were both with Dash and Mickey Fan and Space were both with Ace. But it was I actually had Dash and Ace both tied. Space had Dash and Ace both tied. It was just a matter of preference, not even reflected in the scores. So yeah, you guys have basically, I didn't want it to be like a thing where it was like you guys have 10 seconds to come up with an idea and pitch it. So you guys have until we finish the reviews, I guess. And I think we have all the judges online. Space and Tiki are on, so we can judge those quickly as well.
Yeah. All right. So because Tiki is clearly chomping at the bit here, why don't we get into some projects?
Let's do it.
All right. So first up, we have Jack Skellington's Night of Frights. Now, Dash, this was yours, right?
Yes, this was mine.
All right. So why don't you walk us through this?
All right. So when I was initially thinking about this whole idea, the thing that lit up for me first was wanting to come up with like thematic scare mazes that would fit areas in these parks, and sort of from there, it sort of grew into this whole idea of, a Halloween event for this park that, because of the sort of more mature feel that we've been applying to this blue sky resort, that, they would perhaps take a try with a more mature Halloween event for for a Disney park.
Yeah.
I'd imagine higher ups would be a bit more skeptical about putting Mickey Mouse as sort of the headliner of it, but Jack Skellington, that's the thought there.
Okay.
So now we get onto the houses themselves. First, making Christmas. And so, yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas is one of the Disney properties that leaps out pretty easy for like a house concept. And I actually had two potential angles I was looking at for it. The other idea for this house that I nearly considered going with was basing it more around the Christmas Eve montage sequence from the film, with you basically walking through this town that's experiencing all of the chaos of Jack Skellington's Christmas Eve flight. But I decided to go for like the more familiar Halloween Town iconography with this focus on the Making Christmas song. So I tried to cover not just some of the other like familiar iconography from the film, but also stuff from specifically from that sequence. Like for instance, the whole workshop area where we've got the zombie dad with the stocking snake. We've got our toys like the vampire teddy bear and jack-o'-lantern in the box. And though it's not from the Making Christmas song, I really like the image of the man-eating wreath. So I wanted to find a way to get that in there.
Oh yeah. Well, and one thing that I'd really, really want to say here is that like you kind of perfectly encapsulated the idea of this prompt with this maze, with this walkthrough of we don't want Halloween Horror Nights, we don't want a Hong Kong Disneyland house. We wanted something a bit lighter that still was that still could like fun scare you.
No, yeah, and that is also something that really helped with something like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like I had a bit more freedom of having sort of a bit more scares and not just focusing on atmosphere, but it's sort of scares that are sort of cushioned by some of the goofy, fun charm of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Because much like the Sleepy Hollow chilling tour that I did way back in the first round, part of my major design philosophies for these mazes were focusing more on like atmosphere rather than huge scares. Focusing more on atmosphere with like some smaller scares here. And also generally for me, I chose to stay away from scare actors, instead putting more of a focus on like static figures or like simple animatronics. I feel like that would be a bit more like a bit more Disney friendly versus having a scare actor that, might get a bit too close for a kid and could scare them a little too much.
Oh yeah.
I thought that this maze was really cool. And by the way, Dash, you can go back to what you were working on. We're going to keep Ace talking about his project for about 4.5 minutes too, so you guys are about equal on time.
Yeah.
But I thought that this was, this project was super cool. One of my favorite parts about it was that that you made it a full event.
Yeah.
I thought that was just such a good idea.
And I like that, this very much feels, you and I were talking before everyone else came on. And we kind of, you kind of mentioned, you were very much inspired to make this something of a lighter Halloween Horror Nights.
That was such a smart move in my opinion. And the way that you brought it in, it was like, at first I was like, well, I don't know how creative this is because it is Jack Skellington. And then I was like, well, no, this is actually really cool because it's like
Oh yeah.
what you brought in. I thought that worked perfectly. I mean, just looking back through your mazes again, like the Jack Skellington one in Nightmare Before Christmas itself is great. But then the Warmongers one, and I know you were like super invested into that storyline from the last
Oh, yeah.
project. And then I thought the House of the Future
Okay.
project. Oh, that was so good.
So, quick question about the House of the Future project. Was this
Yeah.
done specifically to appeal to me and my love of the House of the Future short from the Disney Plus Mickey Mouse shorts?
So good.
It is.
Actually, it didn't necessarily spring from there, but rather from this competition itself. I was trying to think about what I would do for my third house, and initially I was thinking of something set within Adventure Atoll, but then just suddenly I had this sort of light bulb about the whole 1986 House of the Future, and honestly, I've got a bit of a soft spot for some of that old school retro futurism as well. So
Yeah.
I decided to lean into that. And another thing I'll mention about my maze design philosophy is that I wanted like different feels for each maze.
Yeah.
So
And that, I will say, that was something that does stick out to me where, the Making Christmas is a bit more fun. The Horrors of War is, or Visions of War is like far by and far the scariest, and then Forgotten Future is a bit creepier.
no, yeah, Forgotten Future. I leaned into something that's more eerie and off-putting.
Yeah.
Just in this case, the whole idea of this being like sort of essentially the curdled nightmare of a scientist that wanted to do good, but it's by the point that we're walking through this House of the Future, it's clear that the guy's pretty much at the end of his rope.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And that brings us to the end of yours. We're going to let you go so you can work on your maze. And we're going to move on to who's next? Who's next on the list?
Outbound.
Outbound. It is. So,
Okay.
yes. So, Outbound, walk us Everett Erie's
okay.
Magical Map Quest.
Yeah, so I didn't have many ideas for this, so I kept thinking of what we're doing a lot, and I realized that Everett Erie kept showing up. So I decided to take his character and just kind of expand on him. I made him the narrator in a way, and I just sort of created different maps for the 3 different regions that we've explored so far in the Lost Kingdoms. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I thought that it was cool that you, because I would have actually expected if it was going to be something with Everett Erie, I would have expected it to be a Paragon project. But I thought that this was like a really cool idea to make it all centered around him. And I thought the idea of making it a quest that's tied together in 3 separate parts was a really great idea as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you can go.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so that was just something. That was also something I thought of, just kind of finding ways to tie it together, because I wanted the maps to the mazes to sort of like flow together into one cohesive sort of thing. So I decided to create that sort of treasure quest. There's like no real aim to complete it besides just being brave and going through the mazes. I imagine like young children would go through this and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm really scared to go here," but they like go through it and be proud of themselves. So it's not like you win a prize or anything, but you get
I
fireworks.
will say that is something that I got out of your mazes was, very, very, it's in that same spirit of, the opening to the Haunted Mansion or Tower of Terror, where it's scary, but it's child friendly.
Yeah, that was a challenge. I think everyone can relate to this because the prompt is, well, actually everyone but Perma. It's yeah, it's a real challenge to blend like this horror maze, but also family friendly.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I thought that you would address the prompt really well. I thought your maps all looked great and had like
We love a
actual
map.
solid. Yeah, I love the maps, but I thought of the different like elements where you like
Yeah.
actually
The
identify
branching
where
paths.
stuff is. Yes, because that was one of the things that I had as a criticism, just in general for all of yours. And I guess it's sort of tough because I don't really know what I'm wanting, but it felt like all of your projects were sort of more walkthroughs than mazes.
Well, I
But
mean, to be
to be
fair, that is
fair,
a haunted house.
right. So that's what my thing was, is that I'm like, I don't really know what I'm wanting, but I'm wanting something that feels a little bit more mysterious, I guess. And I thought that yours did the best at conveying that specifically, which actually I had all three of you guys tied. Paragon had a 25 out of 25 for me, but I had all three of you tied. So like I said, it was just super tight. But Tiki said in the comments that your projects were super professional and well put together. The only knock he has against it is the concepts don't feel all that different from what's originally in the lands. So, yeah, that's what Tiki said.
Oh yeah, and that is probably my biggest critique with this one as well. I love these mazes, but they feel like they demystify the lands a bit.
That's true. One thing I'll say is they're subversions. So one thing I was planning out was I didn't want anything to scare children for a long time. So what I was concerned was even if you do something nice and happy, like the Yeti doesn't pop out at you. The fact that there is a Yeti, or the fact that there is ghosts, or the fact that there's like evil aliens out there could scare someone. So I sort of had this thing where at the end it would demystify what you were scared of, like, oh, see, it's like a Scooby-Doo sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they're ended, they're like, oh, I'm okay, and then they leave. And see, it wasn't that scary. So yeah, that definitely has happened for the first one. For the other two, they're still mystical, but they're just at the end they're like, oh, okay. For the second one, the threat's contained, so it's not going to happen again. And then for the third one, the aliens aren't bad. So
yeah, that's fair.
But no, I see what you mean. They don't have the same vibe of like Lost Kingdoms being very mystical. They're sort of just subversions, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, that is my biggest problem with this, because these are really cool mazes.
Yeah, I really like the storylines behind them. I thought that all the different reveals where it was like, oh, things aren't that bad. I thought that they were done well. So, like I said, I really liked yours, and I really liked yours and Dash's actually both were very cohesive together, in that his was like one big event and you made yours like a little quest. And I thought that was really cool, because I feel like that's something that could take up a significant amount of time for a family with kids, at the park, is, oh, we have to do this quest or whatever. I would say that I wish that there was like something at the end, like opening the treasure chest, like something, not even like getting something, but
like there you had your reward, basically.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
oh, thank you, Nigel, for that intended roast, but actually it's a compliment, so thank you.
Everybody cheers after Soren.
It's the one time it's appropriate to clap after a plane lands.
Nice.
That was good.
Tiki is not incorrect here.
No, he's very
Hey, you
incorrect.
enjoy your bendy Eiffel Tower, whatever.
Flaccid Eiffel Tower aside.
Okay, but over California is like it feels authentic. I suppose it doesn't make Epcot doesn't make much sense, but
No.
DCA, it feels like this is the thesis statement for the land. It's like if Horizons was suddenly replaced by Mars. So
Now you're just getting ahead of yourself.
Shade.
now I'm going to bring Horizons into discussion. But I feel like I don't know.
Are we
When I
trying
went
to
out over
summon
the
Mickey
world,
Mouse?
it kind of felt cliche moments. Like there was a moment where a whale just jumps out, and then I was just like, "Oh, this isn't like realistic." I know it sounds wrong to say, but I don't know. I felt like
Oh, and getting hit in the face with the golf ball is?
it could happen.
Hey, no, that's not the unrealistic part. The unrealistic part is you're lucky enough to get hit in the face by a golf ball that Michael Eisner hit.
Oh. So, any final thoughts on Outbounds?
I liked it. I didn't have it ranked ahead of dashes or aces on scores, so you can blame other judges for that.
Nitpicks that added up. It was nitpicks that added up for me.
No, I understand it though, and it's let me do something that the two people who are making the decision know about, and no one else will. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
I've seen it.
All right. Ace, we're gonna pull you away from your work here for about 5 to 10 minutes,
8
so
minutes.
you can talk about your project.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, I saw the prompt and I was like, "Oh Jesus!" Basically, I was struggling on this honestly until about 24 hours ago when I finally figured out my 3 mazes and just powered through because it was I could not figure it out on how I wanted to do this to get that right mix. And so lately, a friend of myself have been slowly going through all the Disney animated movies, and we're right in the middle of the Renaissance period right now. And 2 nights ago, we were watching Lion King, and it kind of processed that this is basically exactly what you guys want, is something that's still super family friendly, but then it has, moments like the Stampede scene where that still traumatizes us. And so, that accidentally sort of gave me my inspiration of, okay, well, there's this scene in The Lion King. Okay, well, last week we watched Beauty and the Beast, and there's the wolves in the West Wing, and then, Hunchback is my favorite Disney movie, so it's like, oh, Hellfire, like, there's
The
an easy
case
3
just
right
jumped
there.
out at me.
How could it not be anyone's favorite Disney movie? Come on.
I mean, my favorite is Beauty and the Beast, but Hunchback is in my top 5.
Oh, great choices either way. But I was like, okay, so here's 3 Renaissance movies. Well, that works perfectly because then they're all sort of tied together for a Renaissance scare. And
That
now
pun just sends me, by the way.
I came up with that at about 3 a.m. this morning, and I was laughing to myself nonstop. I was so proud of it.
Oh, it sends me.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, well, here's 3 that sort of tie together nicely, give a sort of overarching theme, and still fit that idea of, okay, well, I mean, everyone knows The Lion King, so it's family friendly and everything, but that elephant graveyard can be a lot, or the wolves outside of Beast Castle can be a lot for some younger kids, but it's still just Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's very much like I see the Beast and I think Harry baby. Like, is that just me?
It might be just you, but I see it.
He's just a hairy good boy. I love him.
But yeah, I mean that was my main motivation. It came from struggling a lot with this idea and then getting it by accident watching movies with a friend and
Yeah.
turned into something I'm pretty happy with.
Oh yeah, and you should be.
Yeah.
And like Tiki says here, um, no, it definitely feels the most Disney out of all the projects.
Yeah. Yeah, Space said the thing about the elephant graveyard
Ace, I'm
too, and
sorry, but I just needed to point this out.
no, no. All right, well, I think that's my elimination right there. It's I can't recover from this. I can never show my face on the forums again.
That's so good.
um, yeah, I mean, there's like 2 rows or at some places there. It's like Downtown Disney only has the 1 row, so I can never get lost. Or like there's the point where it breaks, and then there's like the old Pleasure Island area. It doesn't make sense. Like, you suddenly lost your whole afternoon. It's like I just wanted to get to the Lego store. I'm at World of Disney. This makes no sense. Like, and the worst part is they're beside each other. So like,
That's what I was gonna say.
like, I should be able to find it, and I can't.
Oh man.
Literally right next to each other. All right, now this Palace of Justice. This is like clear and away probably my favorite of the mazes.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought
it
it was
was-
really cool as well.
Yeah, I just
It-
wanted to point that out because we have time to burn with you, Ace.
Yeah,
So
I can
both
stall
you-
more. I think this one was also the easiest one to write, but that's also because of how much I love Hunchback. So
yeah,
with the other ones, I sort of had to try and find a way to stretch them out, especially Beauty and the Beast one. But this one,
Yeah.
it just kind of flowed naturally because you don't see the Palace of Justice a lot, but what you do was just so much for a maze sort of thing.
and I loved using the indie doors.
Yeah, that was interesting because it was like I wanted the hooded figures to pop up, and at first I couldn't figure out how I was gonna make it work. And then I remembered about the whole indie effects that didn't work videos that so many different YouTubers have done, and they were talking about how this doesn't work anymore. And I was like, so they always turn it, but make it so it's still pointing in the middle. But what if I actually just made it into a turntable that makes it always seem like you only have the one choice? And it's like it might be maybe kind of unrealistic for a maze, but at the same time,
I can see it working.
if Disney's doing something like this, they could also just go all out with it. So
Yeah,
it was like it gives me the acting I need to make the effect that I really want to happen work. So it worked in my mind.
yeah, I can see it working.
Yeah.
I can just imagine the jump scare that is the hooded figures popping out.
Right?
Like that
100%.
would just be like an epic jump scare.
Yeah, it really would be. I thought the way that you tied these all together, like all of them, not just this one, was really impressive. Because whenever I thought about this prompt, and whenever I see prompts, I try to think about what I would do, and I was like, nothing in my mind was saying do Disney Renaissance films, and I think that you made it work extremely well. Like you took the elements of it that are scary and highlighted those, but it is still a Disney movie, and it like Space said, it's definitely the most Disney out of all of them. And I think you did an excellent job balancing the scary with the kid friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was the part I was fighting with the most. It was like, where do I find the line here? And how do I make sure it doesn't get too scary and it's not just, Sleeping Beauty's castle sort of thing?
Yeah. All right. Well, then we're gonna let you go so we can talk to Paragon about his thing.
With
Best
project.
project. Yeah.
Yeah,
Best project.
best project.
The absolute masterpiece that came out of my brain.
It definitely did come out of your brain.
That it did. And that is the highest praise it can possibly.
I was laughing so hard reading this.
It-
Honestly, it was. I'm just looking back at it. Oh man, it's so funny.
It really is. It is like I love meme projects. I love meme projects that capitalize on the memes of the competition even more.
Can I just butt in here and say, why am I still being attacked in the comments when we're no longer reviewing my project?
Let's just talk about this real quick.
Jerks awake whenever the fish comes out.
The anglerfish thing gets me every time.
Oh man.
Oh, if it's not there for that, then what is it for, really?
Yeah, it's only there to wake up those people who are still asleep. Honestly.
Exactly.
Well, you see, you got to fall back asleep in between that and the turtle hallway, because if you're awake in the turtle hallway, you will throw up. So
Oh, the turtle hallway messes with me.
It's so trippy.
Oh, but yeah, let's talk about
I'm missing stuff in
Welcome
the
to Hell,
opening
boys.
description. Oh man, like instead of Beelzebub, I Beelzebub. And the three kings of hell: Bob Chapek, Satan, and Butt Cluck. Oh my gosh!
And each one works.
It's so perfect.
Each king of hell gets each king of hell gets a house. It works.
It's so good.
it was. I mean, I am the king of backstory, as we know. So I decided,
Yes.
you know what? It's time for a little backstory. We've developed the lore behind Butt Cluck for so long. I thought it was really time for him to get his show. But we can't bring Butt Cluck into the mortal realm, right? That wouldn't make any sense, because that would be too dangerous. So instead, we had to bring the mortals to hell, where he resides.
Oh my
Where
gosh!
he holds all the power.
Right? Yeah, no, because if we brought him to our realm, he would just immediately destroy all of us, I think.
Oh my
If we go to his realm, he has to be like a nice host and like put out like tea cakes and stuff. So I think we really hit him with the, hey, now you have to plan the party, and when you're the host, you can't get drunk because you have to babysit everybody else. So I think that's kind of how we got Butt Cluck to not kill everybody.
Uno reverse card.
Right? No, we definitely Uno reverse card Butt Cluck right there.
Wait. It's like you have to give Butt Cluck bread and salt, and then he will attack you.
Right, except instead it's build 3 Halloween Horror Night-esque mazes in his domain.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Now he has to be a gracious host.
Right.
Yeah, it just
It's so funny.
it really is.
And this last paragraph. The last paragraph is just so beautiful.
I don't know. I haven't seen this movie in so long.
I mean, has anyone actually seen Chicken Little since like
I don't
it came
think
out?
so.
Not since I was really little. I love this
I've-
last sentence. I've been trapped in
I've
hell
seen it.
writing the exploits of Butt Cluck for millennia. Send help. Praise Butt Cluck.
I've seen it, but I haven't seen. I have not watched it again since I saw it, like when it first came out. And
Right. Yeah. I mean, for whatever reason, I vividly remember the first like half of Chicken Little, like so vividly I could probably recite scenes, but I do
Wow.
not remember what
Praise
happened.
Butt Cluck.
Yeah, please look. I cannot remember what happens after they get out of the cornfield. I could not tell you a single thing. Like, so that's kind of where that is totally where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So instead, we're going to end it how I think the movie should have ended, with our Lord and Savior just destroying the entire haunted house. Yeah. I mean,
And then we have our next more Poo Talk album, Welcome to Hell.
yeah, I will be photoshopping that.
Thank you.
Homework got
Good.
in the way, but that's on the table. Don't worry.
Good. That's what we like to see.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
I didn't
Most of it is
know
actually
what.
just that outbound show.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with it. I'm like, I should do like a joke prompt, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna do 3, and then I realized, by the time I got here, I was a couple in, and I'm like, you know what? Outbound already did this and better, so I'm just gonna do his show and then add on it. But then I didn't want to write down his show, so instead I don't know, just read it.
Oh, it's great.
And then the best project, A Prophet Fallen.
Is this possibly the best project? This single paragraph, the single best project of the entire season. Yes.
Yes.
We'll stop.
Yes, Jokers, you better be watching this, and this needs to go into your Imagineering awards.
Take a step back, Age of Magic. You suck now because the Yogi Bear house where
You take that back right now, young man.
No, I honestly, I kind of agree, honestly. The decaying body of Yogi Bear, the false prophet, hanging in a cage above the screen.
right, and that's not an animatronic, by the way. That is Yogi Bear.
You kill a bear, hang him above a screen, with a green hat and a green tie on it.
And that is a link to HBO
Composing
Max.
over the course of the entire event.
Oh man. Oh.
And I did link the movie in case anybody wants to watch it. And
I'm honestly a little tempted to watch it. I need to watch it and Chicken Little in the same night.
I think
You guys probably won't see me again. I'll let you guys know ahead of time so that you know what happened if I don't come back.
Oh.
that is the way to get into hell.
Whoa, wait, hold up. This was a Wii game?
Apparently.
What? Hang on, I gotta look this up.
I almost said I was going to make everybody play the Wii game, but I don't know. I feel like that would be
That's
too much
torture even for you.
Right. No, that would really take away from the child-friendly nature that I really tried to establish here. I wanted to make these family-friendly so that everybody can go in these houses and just like be super excited and have a great time, and then when they return to the mortal realm, they can be like, wow, what a great Halloween. I feel like the Wii game would have just ruined that atmosphere that I'm trying to build and made it too not family friendly.
This is so weird. It looks like the game is like it's like a Super Mario Bros. Runner game, except it has like little cutscenes with the ranger guy and Yogi talking. That's so weird. Like, why spend money on a game for that? That's literally what it is. It's literally you're going through Jellystone. That's
the real question is
so
why
weird.
not spend money on that? Because that sounds terrible and like the perfect way to waste a paycheck.
Okay, but you know how like there's kids, and when you're a kid, you will just
I know how
latch
they're
on to a random thing that it could be awful, and
honestly,
you just love it, and then you ask for the game on Christmas.
Yeah,
you play it for 15 minutes,
and then it's gone. It's
never seen again.
No, Yogi Bear. I got the DVD for Yogi Bear, the movie. Whenever, I guess it was after my third grade year. I swear, I watched that movie so many times the summer after my third grade year. It was a problem. I would have. This is another weird insight. I talk a lot about my childhood. It's weird, but I just watched Yogi Bear. I just vividly remember Yogi Bear and cheese sticks. That's it. That was
Honestly,
my
who needs
summer.
therapy when we have more poo talk?
Exactly. This is my therapy, and I'm saving about $200 a month.
Okay, I just need to point out this Nigel comment. Paragon seems like he wonders fantasy land. Cares kids to ask him about Disney creepypastas.
See, that's
Oh my
almost
gosh.
correct, except I would never be caught dead in Fantasyland.
Wow.
When I go to Disney, it is exclusively Animal Kingdom, and you guys should know this about me by now.
I'm not shocked.
I have never gone to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, or Hollywood Studios. They are all beneath me.
And you guys gave this
I,
man HOH?
I actually just live on the safari with the animals, and sometimes I'll jump
Now,
out.
there's something I'm not surprised about.
I've got to ask, Peregrine, are you Joe Rody?
No, you've never seen me and Joe Rody in a room together.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that Joe Rody conveniently retires right at like the final four of 1986? Seems a little suspicious.
Seems a little sus.
I can't confirm nor deny this conspiracy theory. Not until Disney gives me my final paycheck, at least.
Nice. Oh man.
Oh. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of project reviews. Dash, Ace, what do you say? Are you ready to pitch us some mazes?
Oh, just for the
Why
record,
not?
the official scores. So Dash
Oh,
and Ace
yeah,
both
let's
had
hear that.
93. So Dash and Ace both had 93. Outbound had 91. Peregrine had 66 out of 100.
Ace.
Couldn't have even
You
given
all
were
the numbers.
3 away
The
from the
funny.
funny number, Paragon.
Yeah.
No,
Dang
but
it.
like
Okay, I'm changing my score. No.
add another 6 and it would have been in hell. So like
Hey, that's
I'll
what
take
it was.
what I can get.
Mickey Fan was the most harshest judge, and Tiki was the most generous. So there you go. I know
will
you guys
take
like to know
my
that
throne.
stuff.
Oh.
So I think Space and Tiki are both in the comments. So we will send our scores to each other, I guess, and
Space.
then just
I'd
come
like
out
to
and tell
raise
you
my
guys.
Paragon score by 3 points.
Perfect.
It's
What a
what
hero.
he deserves.
This is why we put Space in charge of things.
Yes,
Did I just become the ultimate meme project?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
you did.
Yes. Good job.
Put the Nigel comment up. Nigel, yes, Nigel. Oh man.
It's over.
Oh man.
No, that's totally accurate.
He's also the guy in the back of the safari vehicle telling the safari guy that he's getting everything wrong. No, that's not this, Sam. Oh, that's just such a great comment. But yeah, so oh gosh, yeah, Tiki's we only have 4 judges, so hopefully we won't end up with another tie.
Tiebreaker number 2.
Yeah, if we you guys have to make a 5th maze. No. So yeah, I guess we can start with Ace. I don't know if you guys have any like pictures that you want to put up, but I think you can probably screen share if you need to.
Yeah, you can screen share.
Oh, can I? Okay. That
Yes.
works. I'll just pull up a couple. Just give me 1 second then. I wasn't even prepared for that.
All right, Nigel, if you want to get in a couple more roasts while Ace is
Yeah.
looking at pictures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Please. Tell me how you really feel about me. How do I open?
Oh, this feels familiar. Tiki's going to back out of another elimination where I'm doing it.
Oh, who's dude?
Mm.
Oh man. So
Okay,
Please, let's have Goofy do it last. So if there's a tie, he's the one.
that feels
He
familiar.
always decides.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was like whenever Nigel got eliminated. What was it, last podcast? I started to read it, and I'm like, no, I can't do this again. Mickey fan, you have to do it. Oh, that's a good point. No, Tiki. Well, I guess we can just vote on them.
Yeah, we're gonna vote.
Oh
I
crap!
don't
That
have
means
time.
I am going to be the deciding.
I don't
vote.
have
I'm
time
gonna
to
be the
do
deciding
math.
vote.
Let me just pull up my share screen. Oh, perfect.
On the bright side, I'm not actually eliminating anybody. I'm not. Even if I were the deciding vote, it wouldn't be mine. It wouldn't be my decision on who's going home. That's still the brutal decision of whoever wins the veto project.
Yeah. All right. So, luckily, actually, when I was coming up with all these ideas, I was actually stuck between doing Hunchback or Hercules, and so I already had
Ooh.
a basic idea for Hercules already done. So
Mm.
this helped a little bit. So to continue with the Disney Renaissance scare, we're going to another great Renaissance movie. This one will be actually located. Let me pull that up. In Port
Hey!
Voyage.
Oh, I was like, oh, you're gonna pitch my project. You win.
No, I'm actually trying to win here. So good ideas only.
I love it. I love it. Honestly, I love that all of Ace's trash talk of me is gonna come back to get him. That's how I vote. I don't care what this project
Finally gonna pay through in the
So,
So,
if we
going-
have not figured out, I think that Ace automatically got got Tiki's vote here.
not well.
But let's hear him
They
out.
might be
Let's hear him
disappointed
out.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going Disneyland Paris style, and Under the Castle's open right now, and so guests are gonna go under the castle and under the world to Hades' underworld. So what's going to happen? Guests enter into the maze, and on their left they can see the river Styx, the classic. Oh wait, I have the tab open. The river Styx, the Soul River, Hades, and everything. Guests enter in, and the tome's going to be set early, as with each grouping of guests entering, boom, some soul animatronics pop out of the water. Nothing too crazy and like not big splash or anything like that. Guests will stay dry here, just to there. This is a river of soul. So like, you can never be too careful. So sets the tone. Guests then continue on to get towards this, Hades' quote unquote office. And at the center of this room, they meet up with the three fates, the Clotho, Lachetheus, and Atropos. Atropos.
Wow, that's
These
impressive.
girls, right? And I was like, I know it. The room's empty, and it's just the simple room with the map in the middle. There's Hercules, the different beasts he fights, sort of just like a small little Easter egg showing the events of the movie that if guests are keen, they'll know what they are. Otherwise, it just looks like theming to the room. As the guests enter, these three will pop out of the pillars in the room to just be in there as costume characters so that they can mess around with the eye, like in this picture of there's not going to be humans walking around eyeless, throwing eyes around at each other. It'd be costumes.
Lame.
I know, right? There goes my realism right there. And so they mess around with the eye a little to keep it light, and everyone wants it. And then suddenly they pull out a mortal's thread of life and pull out the pair of scissors and cut it. And up on the roof, going towards the river Styx, a soul goes past. And for guests that are paying attention quickly, they realize it's Meg's soul that's going past.
Whoa.
And so the guests then follow the soul into the next room where they are here. And in this room, the guests are on sort of a curved path down at the bottom of the river here. As they enter in, they can see through projections in the water, much like the old mermaids were on Pirates, more souls in the river, including some rocky protrusions here like this. Up to their left is a cliff where they can see Hades and Hercules on it. Suddenly, Hercules will yell Meg, seeing her soul in the river down below, and dives into the water. He dives in right in front of the guest. Ignore this picture. This one's wrong. That's not how it actually is. As you can see with the rest of the other five, it is an actual dive. Uh, um, with this dive, there's no big splash or anything like that. It's a proper dive, and it's far enough away from the guest that maybe their shoes might get a little wet, but it's very minor compared to everything like that. Hercules goes underwater for half a second, then comes back up with a puppet version of Meg's soul, and guests then move into the next room. As guests move on, Hercules will quickly reset, putting Meg back in to the compartment underwater and sneaking into a backstage area. As the next Hercules gets set, there'd be like 3 or 4, so that there's breaks in between the dive and everything, not just making the same guy do 20 dives an hour of a couple so that he gets a break. And not just the same guy over and over again. No time off, no breaks. It's like the Alien Encounter cast member, right? He's being worked to death in the underworld. It's ironic, It's a little bit humor. From there, guests see that Hercules pulled out Meg, so they go into the final room, which has the Titans stuck in Tartarus. And for this, the heads are simple static figures, but some of the arms sticking out around the lightning cages are animatronic arms that are moving around trying to break out of the room. But of course, they're not having any real luck with this because Zeus put them there for a reason, and they're not getting out anytime soon if they all have anything to do with it. So they're just there to remind guests the Titans are there, but unless something crazy happens again, they're not going anywhere. And from there, guests head towards the exit, where they see the muses singing the gospel truth in the style of they did in the movie for I won't say I'm in love, in the style of Grim Grinning Ghosts. And with that, they head out of the maze back into the overworld to continue on their day through Port Voyage. Port Voyage. Yeah.
Voyage.
Voyage.
Voyage. Very French. All right. So very, very good. Dash, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I've got the basic idea for my pitch ready to talk through.
All right. Do you need to pull anything up?
No, I think I'll be good just sort of talking through this idea. It might be a little rough in spots, but I think I've got enough to get the gist of it through.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, well, before I had talked about my sort of design philosophy of wanting a variety of feels for the houses. So, like, the goofy fun of making Christmas, the more threatening scares of Visions of War, and the sort of eerie off-puttingness of Forgotten Future. Well, to round out the approaches would be a surreal funhouse based on a famous Disney sequence. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Pink Elephants on Parade.
Ooh.
This would be located over near Four Winds Square, where the exterior facade would appear to be a blue and red circus tent, along with a sign out front. It's a sign that would depict an image of a sad-looking Dumbo surrounded by the clowns, and the sign basically advertising, "Laugh at the clowns," and our big-eared baby elephant. So to help, and that's sort of there to help establish for guests who are familiar with Dumbo, that sort of point of the film. So when you enter this circus tent, you'd find Dumbo and Timothy Q. Mouse asleep on a pile of hay with an instrumental of Baby Mine playing. Something a bit sad, a bit of a quiet moment. But then as you round the corner, from behind a haystack, a pink elephant playing its trunk like a horn would rise up. And turning away from that, you're greeted by a room entrance shaped like the grinning mouth of a pink elephant, as you start to hear the instrumental of Pink Elephants on Parade start to play, with that being the major musical theme for the house. Stepping through that mouth, you'll enter a revolving room tunnel where, as you're walking down a catwalk with rails, you're surrounded by these spinning images of pink elephants playing a variety of instruments. It's definitely designed to be something to throw guests a bit off step as they enter in. Stepping out from that tunnel, we very much get the ball rolling as you walk through this sort of off-kilter house where you've got pink elephants peering through windows, perched on off-kilter sort of German expressionist stairs. As you then pass through the next room, which you suddenly realize is upside down. So you've got this bed on the ceiling above you, a pink elephant staring out from under the covers with just sheer perplexity at seeing you as you pass by. Continuing on through there, we see more of these pink elephants that appear to be marching around, and we even pass by two large pink elephants who sort of are kind of towering over us with their bellies kind of being like inflatable walls, not pressed all the way in, but enough to feel a little more cramped. Navigating through there, we end up working our way past the sort of old school theater curtain as we see like pink elephants on stages going through like various dances. As we then get to the sort of cha-cha music that sequence from the Pink Elephants on Parade short. So you get like various images on the ceiling and on the wall of these pink elephants dancing. But the floor as you're walking through this area is like slightly shifting, moving up and down, as if trying to get you into the rhythm. Stepping through there, we reach the big sort of chaotic climax as we see like images of pink elephants on like a roller coaster. There's sort of a simple animatronic of pink elephants on a car driving around, even one that, you know, might take guests by surprise as it moves a bit towards us with a honk of its horn. Multicolored searchlights sort of spinning around. It's definitely a chaotic scene. But as we continue on, the surreal imagery is fading away. The pink elephants start to look like clouds in the sky. And for the last room of the house, it's the morning. We're off on a country road somewhere, and Dumbo and Timothy are waking up very perplexed to find themselves up in a tree. And it's from there we leave them and return back to the world of the Blue Sky Disneyland.
Okay. So Goofy, you want to go first?
Oh boy. No, I need to think about it for a second. I don't want anybody else to go. I just want to think about it for a second.
Well, while Goofy,
Do you already know who you're going with?
Yes.
Okay. I think I do too. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, space. You nailed it. Golly, that's tough. Okay.
This is neck and neck.
Yeah, of course it had to be another tight one. I think that Tiki was very smart to not be part of this, so that there is a tiebreaker. Okay, so for my vote, thank you, Mickey Fan, for not making me go last. I'm going to go with Dash because
Okay.
I felt like, and this isn't an Ace agenda. I love you, Ace, but I felt
Ace
like
agenda.
Dash's,
I think that's
yeah.
I think that's my joke, sir.
But I do I do feel like Dash's I like Dash's from a standpoint of being really original and out of the box, like all of his. So I guess it is sort of a continuation of both of your themes. And since I preferred his theme initially, and he continued it in this project, I went with him. I guess, yeah.
All right. Space, what say you?
Oh, Mickey Fan is
Oh, it's putting the pressure on
voluntarily.
himself, yeah.
I am voluntarily going last.
Wow.
I am voluntarily potentially deciding this.
It's not as much fun as it seems, I promise. Space may be typing something really long.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, never mind. I was wrong.
he instantly called your bluff on that one.
We're all just staring at the comments right now.
We really are. Okay, is that your vote?
No, yeah, he's typing something long. He's just doing it in a lot of different comments.
Yeah.
Come on, Space. You gotta get with it. Get with it.
He is writing full reviews.
This is tense. I kind of think that Mickey Fan is hoping that he does end up being the deciding vote.
I am. I'm kind of relishing this idea. So the oration impressed him.
Thank you.
Oh, there you
hey!
There it is.
well, Space just stole Mickey Fan's chance to be the deciding vote.
Yeah, well, I was going to go with Dash as well. So,
well,
like, just the yes, you have Space. I was going to go with Dash as well. I think it fit into the other three that you proposed so well. Not that Aces didn't fit in really well, but what I I was immediately sold on Hercules, Hades, Underworld. You had to sell me on Pink Elephants, and you fucking sold me on them.
yeah, I thought that the way that it was pitched was fantastic.
It was.
Yeah, that was the most interesting slam poetry I've ever heard.
But thank you. After I posted my Veto project, I actually found myself still thinking about, oh man, what are like other Disney things that you could do with scare mazes? And Pink Elephants on Parade really sticks out to me, not just because I've generally seen like a lot of people who like, man, that sequence is really weird and creepy, kind of out of nowhere. But as I said, with the design philosophy stuff, you can really go for this great sort of surreal funhouse approach with it.
Oh, yeah.
And the strangest part is it works so well. Like, it would be I would imagine this is a realistic thing.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So with that, Dash, who is joining you and Peregrine in the final three?
Are we going to allow people to make their pleas or no? Because Ace is dangerous with that.
Normally, I would say
Well, I guess it's Dash. Do you want to hear pleas or do you know who you're going to
Yes.
go with?
Tell you what, I'd like to hear some, please.
okay. Because
mean,
we are
up to
running
me,
short
please.
on time, I'm going to put. We're going to do this Disney debate style.
Ooh.
I mean, he already heard Outbound's plea, and
I loved Outbound's
both
plea.
of
I
us.
loved his plea. I'm so glad that I got to see that plea.
Oh,
Now
I
you
think
know,
Outbound should
poem.
read it, honestly.
yep, we are doing this Disney debate style. You
if I read
have
it, though-
1 minute. You have 1 minute to plead your case. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
There we go.
All right. So how long do I have?
You have 1 minute.
Okay, first of all, Dash, read the PM that I sent, if you haven't already. Second of all, besides those points, I didn't get much of a chance to show off myself today because I got third, but I still got only down by 2 points. So I would recommend that you save me because first, what I said in the poem, and second, I will work with you. I mean, I'll just cut to the beans. The three of us have been in an alliance from the beginning, right? So it's me, Ace, and you. So you have to choose now. And I promise you that I will put everything I can to eliminate Pergron in the final two. Make sure you're as good as you can be, and you will be in a position that's pretty good. So that's all I have to say.
Holy cow.
Sorry, Pergron, but you're the biggest. You're the overcat. So.
I just want to say,
Thrown
in the
under
PM,
bus.
in the PM, Outbound wrote a poem entitled "Save Me."
He did.
It's beautiful. It's literally like 5 stanzas.
I will say that Outbound definitely threw in the Hail Mary with the poem to help sell their position. So nice choice on that part.
Oh, another thing. Beatwolf says he likes me, so I'm likely not going to be assassinated.
Okay, so now we are going to move on. Ace, whenever you're ready, your time begins.
All right. So, as mentioned, it was us three. We were hoping to get all the way, and one of us has to go here. So, I know you're in a tough spot for that for sure. My thinking was, the two competing, 1 and 2 in the veto shows how strong we are to go after Pergron next week. If they're that close to the point where even the tiebreaker had to be done and there's still decisions made there, I think it shows how strong we really are here to sort of take it to the next level for the final 3 here to get at least 2 out of the 4 of the alliance to the final 2 because Goofy. Well, we don't even talk about him. So I mean, 3 out of the 4 to the final 4, and then 2 out of the 3 to the or 2 out of the 4 to the final 2 is pretty good.
R2 noises, R2 noises, R2 noises.
I know. I will say that I'm
I
very
don't
proud
have
to
the
see that my
thing.
alliance got 3 out of the 4 final 4.
Yeah, you kind of ruined it with the 4th.
I'm sorry.
After week 3, I'm bored. I'm out.
Yeah, something like
He
that. Yeah.
was busy.
I like that both Ace and Outbound both took the Beowulf approach of I'm gonna kill Paragon for you.
Yeah, of course.
But, all right, well, I'm going to say, Outbound, that poem you wrote was really good, and you made some good points. But Ace Astro, the fact that we did have to go to a major tiebreaker this round, that really says something about some solid strength we got going. So between the two of us, we might have a chance to dethrone Peregron, who's been like going strong for a while.
Yeah.
So, personally, I give my vote. Sorry to say this, Outbound. You're on the chopping block.
Well, I think I'm
he's
good.
eliminated. He's eliminated now.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Well,
it.
I understand completely.
Please
To be
sit in
honest,
your house key and get out. I'm sorry, that was the word. Please get out.
He has a few moments to say goodbye first, please. Then he gathers his belongings and gets out.
I'll be completely honest. When I was writing that poem, I was thinking to myself, if I were in the situation, I would want to do the person who got second place because that's just more fair. And I completely agree with your opinion in that sense. So, you know what? Actually, I've been really busy, so it should probably be a good thing. And I wish you two the best of luck. Also, you know what? I also wish Bergon the best because this is the moment of something I've dreamed about. What? Tiki.
Tiki's obsessed with the strategy stuff.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Well, was it? Okay. I wish the best to all three of you, and I'll go now.
Yeah, great work you did this competition, man. Seriously. Excellent work all around throughout.
Yeah, you have, top four. This top four was not one I ever expected, but it is one that I am so happy to see.
All right, well, good luck to
100%.
everyone. Bye.
He's out.
He actually left.
Well, Tiki wanted to hop in too, so
What a flair for
Tiki's
the
about to hop in here and cry a little bit. I will say that was a very bold decision, Dash. I mean, I think that's one of those things that you just had a chance to make a statement to the jury. So good on you. And yeah, I think this is a really interesting final three. I wouldn't like everybody's been saying, I wouldn't have expected it. Not that any of you guys are weak players because you've all clearly shown your quality, but just the fact that there were so many strong players that you guys have gotten rid of. And I am very much looking forward to seeing both of you try to publicly take out Peregron while also working with him on this project.
Oh, we have to work with him too? Oh, this is going
to... Honestly, I'm still a little confused about how the final three is going to work.
Hey, Tiki.
Shit. Alex, can you full screen me?
Oh, yes.
Or do you know how? Okay, there we go.
He is.
Guys, I don't even know how to put into words like the moment where Dash was about to vote. It's literally something I've dreamed about like ever since I started these silly little Armchair Imagineering competitions. Like, no, I
really wanted Outbound to go.
I'm being completely serious here, and hear me out. Just to have that level of investment, like for everything to come down to that, and I wasn't even on the damn stream. Guys, like this is like I'm literally having kind of a dream coming true moment here a little bit, and I'm getting genuinely kind of emotional about it. Wow, this has been a hell of a podcast. It's been a hell of a season. And I'm just going to go ahead and announce it now. So you want to be an Imagineer season 19? Bring on the memes. Bring on the memes. It's going to be an all meme season. All memes all the time. Guys, we're part of something special here, guys. This community, it's a small community, but it's like I cherish it. I like, oh, man.
We've had our ups, we've had our downs, but we have been a absolute rock for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just the reason why I'm getting so emotional is that it's like there was a time in my life where I literally thought I had no friends. Like, no friends. And I'm just really humbled. I'm really super fucking humbled by all this. Yes, Nigel, I did like your roasts. Absolutely. I don't know. I'm just genuinely emotional right now because this was literally everything that I've dreamed about since I was like 15 years old. This is everything I dreamed about, guys. Like the fact that we have this community and the projects are just so out of this world. It's to a level where I never could have imagined what you guys are doing presentation wise. And I was totally skeptical about doing a strategy based game. But I like you guys you guys mopped the floor with like the last fucking 6 seasons of Big Brother. Honestly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, this season has been a roller. It's better than anything I could have imagined. It's better than anything I could have imagined. I just, yeah, like I said, I'm just genuinely emotional. I'm tonight's gonna be a night I'm gonna remember for a long time. I'll say that. I'll say that much. The season's not even over yet.
Oh yeah, we got some good stuff coming.
Yeah. Mickey fan, do you want to tell everyone how the rest of it is going to go? And you can stop full screening me. I'll turn my webcam off.
So the rest of the season, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you're gonna make the last 2 lands of the park. Whatever you choose, you're gonna have 4 days for each of those. Then you're going to and those are basically going to be mini head of household competitions. We're going to choose a winner for that for each one and point blank, we're saying we don't care about leadership. We don't care about any of that bullshit. Whoever has the best part of that land, you are getting head of household. And then the two head of household winners.
You're gonna no. Okay, I'm gonna correct you, Alex. You're gonna it's basically a 3. The next 3 rounds are gonna be like a 3-part head of household competition. So it's gonna be kind of tournament style. So you don't win head of household just for getting that. You just win essentially so essentially person A wins the first head of household. They'll automatically advance to the final round. And then it'll be between the next 2 who gets to face off with the other person, if that makes sense.
And then there's a third part of the.
Yes, exactly.
The third part's just trivia about the whole season. So hope you.
We should honestly do that.
I love that idea.
I mean, I'm actually kind of serious with that. That would be. Because this season does. Oh man, that would be fun to do it live and everything. We might have to look into that. But anyways, guys,
we don't have enough time.
Right. So guys, I noticed that we have 2 baby Yodas here, and that's an excellent transition. If you want to continue the party, Dragon and I are talking Mando in literally 5 minutes because this went on for way longer than I thought it would.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I would love to see you all in the comments for Mando. It's up on the channel. Of course, assuming you guys have watched it, because make no mistake, there's going to be spoilers galore. Like there's no bones about it. So, but I'd love to see you all in the comments for Mando. And I'm not just saying this in like a go watch my videos. I'm saying it in like I'm feeling the love in this room, and I want to carry it over. So yeah, like I said, guys, I am so fucking humbled by just the amazing year that we've had. I think I played single-handedly my best Armchair Imagineering game ever with The Sorcerer's Apprentice. And then So You Want to Be an Imagineer was an incredible success. And
let's just say this. We're going to have a hell of a end-of-year recap.
Oh, yeah. And in 1986, like as crazy as it is, I would say arguably an even bigger success than So You Want to Be an Imagineer. Arguably. Definitely a more unexpected success.
Very much a more unexpected success. This is very much an experiment of a competition.
I didn't think anybody was going to be doing strategy stuff, and then to see it come very prominently throughout the season has been really impressive.
Honestly, this season could legitimately stack up against any season of Big Brother. Not just oh, it's not a bad season, but no, it legitimately could stack up against some of the great seasons. With how many, think of all the blind sides you guys pulled off. Nate, which I still don't really agree with, but it is what it is. It was a memorable moment.
So brutal.
And Pie, Doug. I mean, basically from Pie onwards, it was a blind side pretty much every time.
It was.
Season 2, Luke, absolutely. Season 2. Tiki, why is Tiki also Baby Yoda? Dragon, because Alex is also using my account because he's running the stream. That's why. And I forgot to change my avatar. Okay, so with the presence of Dragon, I think that's going to single us to get the hell out of here so I can, go do Mando with it.
The old man is on the lawn telling us to get off.
Oh, come on. Don't say that about Dragon. We love Dragon. The channel wouldn't be what it is without Dragon, so,
Yes, it is true.
All right, guys, I genuinely love you all. That's all I gotta say. I can't believe we have this community. It's awesome. All right, have a good night, everyone. Congratulations to the final 3, and sorry to see you go, Outbound, but you absolutely were super humbled. Outbound, I am actually considering calling it 1985. We need to fill in that gap.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with Space, 1985. All right, see you guys later. And don't forget to jump on the Mando podcast if you're into it.
Right.
Self-promotion. Seamless self-promotion.